So, Mark, are you somebody that would consider yourself to be into wellness?
Regrettably, yes.
I feel like you've had to go on that journey, though, haven't you? Anyone who's
Yeah.
read your book, this is not a self-help book. You had to delve into helping yourself and in that find ways to feel better.
Yes. But I suppose getting sober for me is, and it's important for me to remember not to conflate it with wellness, because getting sober was like a necessity. And getting sober then is giving me the sort of bedrock of okayness to then like explore or look at anything additional that sort of supplements the recovery in terms of wellness. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the sobriety wasn't really a choice insofar as it was just like it had to happen. And then yeah, as I say, after a while of being sober, found myself becoming more interested in other aspects of wellness, because you have that sort of clarity, or you're looking for more clarity. And then as a result of that, I've become more interested in things like breathing, meditation, spirituality, I suppose theism as well,
When you say theism,
Well, God, like what is God, what isn't God,
why are we here?
all
What's
of
it all
that.
about?
Yeah.
And you mentioned in your three things walking, and I'm wondering the introduction of a dog to your life, how much has that helped with you making sure you're nailing an hour's walk a day?
I, I'm going to give you an answer you don't want. Actually, it probably initially impeded my walks because I was so self-centered, right? That when I went on my walks, I used to live in Dunleary, and I used to just get up at 6 a.m. and go down to the pier and sit there and listen to what I thought was a meditation, but was actually just like a sort of TED talk it was just a pep talk for your ego. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it worked, by the way. It served a purpose at the time, but I'd watch the sunrise. But that's sort of different to then having to bring the dog out at a designated time. I seem to respond. I like things that I don't have to do.
Yeah.
As soon as I have to do something, it becomes a chore. But that was at the very beginning. But then, of course, you fall in love with the dog, and you find yourself putting on the oilskins at 2 a.m. if he's barking to bring him out for a stroll.
Because we've come in here and interrupted your roasting,
Mm,
I want to talk about your work and how
sure.
much joy that gives you. I mean, the importance of laughter, you said it, your thoughts, but laughter, full stop. And you've now made that your business on stage, on air. How much do you think that brings you well-being?
Everything. It's really and truly everything. Like, I think, with the weekly roast, the idea is that people from all over the country send in their secrets or their thoughts or their concerns or issues or woes about any different subject matter, from first Holy Communions to annoying neighbours to bad breakups with exes and whatever. People send in their stories and we all have a laugh. The great thing about the weekly roast is that it's it is very democratic in that, like, everybody gets roasted. I get roasted. It's not like you're sitting up sort of sanctimoniously telling people how they should live their lives or not. But for me, it's like because of the anonymity, the mask, everyone has a mask, which can be dangerous as well on the internet. But with this sort of show, it gives us the ability to really laugh at the stuff that goes on. It's warts and all. And I think for me, it's very, really important to realize that nobody has the clue. Like, nobody has the answers. And you listen to the episode of the podcast and you go, oh my God, I'm so not alone in not having the answers. And for me, coming into work, we record a couple of times a week here. It's the greatest escape. And for me, laughter is, it's as unbelievably, nauseatingly cliche as it is for a comedian to say, but laughter is absolutely the best medicine. It's coping, it's escapism, it's fun. I think it's just important as well at very serious times for us to just not take ourselves too seriously. And I think we were in an era as well of like there's some people have this opinion of comedy where it needs to be highbrow, or every bit of comedy needs to have some sort of divine artistic purpose, or like I definitely would have thought that when I was like 23 and pretentious, genuinely more pretentious than I am now, which might be hard to believe, but like comedy doesn't need to have any explanation. If it's making you laugh, if it's making you feel good, so be it, And I think with the way that the roast has evolved, and then we've got the roast mortem, and even like with the live shows, like the live shows that we were doing like over the last few weeks around Ireland, like it's a complete mix of like stand up, then like getting people involved, then sort of going on a almost like a TED talk of loons, as we call it, where it's like a PowerPoint presentation on some of the internet's most profoundly stupid DMs that I've received. And it's just a complete mix of slop, but it's good crack.
Yeah, we need more room in our life to just be silly and have fun without an agenda. So we better let you get back to it.
Thank you very
for
much.
having
Thanks
us.
for having me, Claire.